Hey everyone, this is Daphne Tett, and today we're going to be taking another little journey through my travel journal. Yeah, because they both have journ. Today we're going to be talking about my most recent vacation to Hawaii back in January. I'd say that's why I didn't upload during that time, but that was after I discovered the wonder of scheduled uploads, which is, never mind. It has to do with the skyscraper, like 3 weeks behind. At the time I'm filming this, I've already finished the game. I'm not telling you how it ends. Now, where were we? Hawaii Adventures. Get ready to live vicariously through me. Am I on the correct page? Yes, I'm on the start. It's in my notebook. This is titled Aulani, Oahu, Hawaii, January 3rd through 11th, 2020. Alright. Oh, freaking YouTube notification. Anyway. January 3rd, getting there. I woke up at 6:15, still very tired. I stuffed some breakfast into my face, threw on some clothes, and packed the last of my toiletries. We left the house around 7:30. Oh shit. There's like this really funny thing that happened while I was getting ready to leave that I want to tell you, but I also don't know how to explain it. Maybe, I don't know. I just forget I said anything. We drove to the airport and went through security and all that jazz. Boarding began a little after 9 and we took off a little after 10. During the 8-hour flight, I wrote a couple Metopia quotes, munched on some airplane snacks, watched Elf, Ice Age, and the entirety of Metopia Act 5 just because, used 2 blankets as makeshift socks, and generally lost all perception of time. The plane landed at around 2:30 Hawaiian time. Then we picked up our rental car and drove to the magical Honolulu, the Safeway grocery store where we picked up our groceries for the week. And then we drove to Aulani and checked into our room. And just pro gamer tip, Aulani is the Disney resort in Hawaii, so just so you know. We drove to Aulani and checked into our room. Then we checked out the new crib. After we checked out the new crib, we decided we were hungry since our bodies were still in Texas time and thought it was 9:30. We picked a little place across the street from the hotel called Ko'olina Barbecue. I had 3 flavors of beef and a few bites of rice. We were back at the room at 7-Eleven. I know, because I looked at my phone and said something like, "It's 7-Eleven? It feels so much later." Alex and Madeline hit the lazy river while I stayed behind and put on my jammies and brushed my teeth in case I fell asleep while doing things. And fall asleep while doing things? I did. I conked out at the kitchen table watching YouTube videos at 8:45. When I woke up, I popped in my retainer, put on my sleep mask, and transferred myself into my bed. That's a weird way to say I went to bed. January 4th, Pearl Harbor. I woke up at 6:30 and retreated to the balcony for donuts, writing in my travel journal, and lots of Luna. I went inside a bit later and munched on some breakfast. Then we put on our swimsuits and left the room at around 8:45 for a morning at the water park. I went a couple rounds in the lazy river and then went to the adult pool where it was dummy quiet. Do not go in the ladies' room without shoes. It will kill your feet. Anyway, I went back into the adult pool around 11 o'clock. I drifted around the lazy river a little more before returning to the room. I took a shower and had some lunch, and we left at 12:45 for Pearl Harbor. It took 40 minutes to get there and 10 more for Dad to park the car. You look through one of the museums before going to a 2:45 reservation at the Arizona Memorial. We watched a short film and then took a boat to the memorial. There's a huge rainbow over the wreckage. You better believe there were pictures. We took another boat back to the island. We visited the other museum and farted around in the gift shop. I just like that expression, farted around. Okay, I am extremely immature. We began the 10-minute death walk to the car at 4:30. It only felt like a death walk because, we had been walking all day. Or at least all afternoon. Anyway, then we drove back to the resort. We got there around 5 and promptly walked back up to breakfast for dinner at Exit Things. I had the best trademark Hawaiian sweetbread, French toast, and sausage while watching the Titans versus Patriots game and listening to Alex Kraus about both teams. We were back at the room sometime after 6:15. I decided to keep myself awake by watching some videos. I fell asleep again. When I woke up, I proposed a game of Uno with the Rents. Mom smoked us almost every time. Then she served us up some ice cream. I chilled on my bed and wrote a few Metopia quotes before going to bed at 10. January 5th, whale watching. I woke up at 6:55 and went out onto the balcony. I chilled out there until 8 before going inside for breakfast. Then I put on my swimsuit and went down to the water park with Mom and Dad. I swam around the adult pool before going a few rounds in the lazy river. We went back up at 11:15 and I washed my hair in an attempt to get it soft and smooth with all this chlorine. I had pizza for lunch with the rest of the fam before leaving at 12:25 to take some pictures with the Christmas decorations before they took them all down. Then we went out for our 12:45 shuttle to our whale watching excursion. It just had a brain fart for a second. Doesn't that ever just happen? Anyway, our boat left the dock at 1:30 and for 2 hours I enjoyed the sunny weather, felt the sea breeze, saw some tails, and nearly lost my balance multiple times. Then at 3:30, our boat booked it toward the dock, and all I could was stand there clinging to the rail for dear life and get sprayed all the way up to my boob, and look at the land wistfully like a Studio Ghibli anime girl. And once we got back, we got off the boat, and the shuttle had us back to the hotel a little after 4. I ate an entire bowl of popcorn while browsing the Metopia wiki. Wow, I can't talk today. I'm just saying too many words at once. My mouth's just going, nom, 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 and none of it's really making sense, is it? Okay. Then I went out onto the balcony and watched the sunset while trying not to be blinded, because the cost of these baby blues is that I can't look at any source of bright light. Okay, I just played that one for laughs. I can totally look at the light in my bedroom. As I was saying, we went out to dinner at 6:15 at a Mexican place called Just Tacos. I filled up on chips, ate half a Mexican restaurant hamburger, and made a dent in a huge pile of fries, which is to say I did not eat Just Tacos. Once we got back, I fell asleep watching videos again. This happens to me quite often. I can also fall asleep in front of the TV if it's late and I'm tired. Okay, once I woke up, I decided to keep myself awake by going through Splatoon and applying the could-be-gayer principle to talk you about without being too obvious about it. I went to bed at 9:50. Where were we? What's that face I made back there? I should make that the thumbnail. January 6th, chill day. I woke up at 6:40 and went out onto the balcony. I went inside at around 7:30 and had eggs for breakfast with the fam. I put on my swimsuit and went to the adult pool with the rents at 8:30. Wow, don't I sound so cool using all this slang? You know what isn't cool? YouTube, because it keeps sending me notifications while I'm trying to make a video. Okay, so where was I? The adult pool at 8:30. They both went in, but eventually decided it was too cold. Actually, Mom was a little bit more immediate. Anyway, I swam about in the pool and also went in the lazy river for a bit. I lounged in a lounge chair to dry off and went up to the room at 11:15. I took a shower and had my leftover half a burger and fries for lunch. I spent a good part of the afternoon sitting in the room, sitting on the balcony, writing more Metopia quotes, watching the Game Grumps play Doom, trying to get the Wi-Fi to stay connected. You know, vacation things. At around 2:30, Dad and I went across the street to Two Scoops Ice Cream for, you guessed it, ice cream. Now guess which flavor I had. You know, I wrote that entry expecting it only to be read by me, but you, not to diss you or anything, but you don't know me. I actually have to tell you that I picked the vanilla ice cream because I only eat vanilla ice cream. Plain. I'm a pizza purist. I'm an everything purist. I'm going team neither for the next Splatfest. But not literally, because, you know, I want to be in it. Where was I? And once we got back, it was back to the phone for me. We left at around 5:15 for dinner at Pizza Corner, even though pizzas don't have corners. We ordered a plate of big old garlic knots and a big old pizza. I had a few bites of garlic knot and a couple slices of cheese. Cheese pizza, not cheese straight up. When we finished, we went back to the hotel where Dad and I went to a showing of the live-action Aladdin on the AstroTurf lawn. We got ourselves parked on the lawn at 6:40 in the p.m. and the movie started at 7. It was pretty amazing visually, but I don't remember Aladdin getting pushed into the water tied to a chair and almost dying. That was metal as heck. That did not happen when I was in the Aladdin play back in high school. Mostly because we did not have a building for Aladdin to get pushed out of, or any water to get him pushed into. Now, where was I? We made it back to the room at around 9, where I parked myself on the kitchen bench or whatever and watched more videos. I went to bed at 10. I probably fell asleep, though I didn't write that down. Moving on. Oh yeah, January 7th, a heckin' long hike. I woke up at a time and went out onto the balcony. After I finished writing in my travel journal, I went back inside for breakfast. We all got dressed and ready to leave the room at 9:30 for today's outing. We arrived at the trail and met up with Mom and Dad's friend Kyle at 10:40, while Dad spent a good 10 minutes looking for a parking spot. Once we were ready, we started the mile-long hike up to the point. I didn't realize the sentence ended. That was weird. Alex and Madeline skipped ahead of us, while the rest of us trailed behind, no pun intended. Once we got to the top, we took some very wind-blown pictures. The trip down was definitely quicker. We were back at the bottom around 12:15. Then we got lunch at a steak and shrimp place down the road, except I had chicken, but also fries. We drove up to another lookout, which I can't remember the name of, but it's like Nunapu'upali something or something around there. But we'll always remember it as that really windy place because the wind was so strong that it pushed us back on the walk up and pushed us forward on the walk back to the car. After that experience, we drove to Wyola Shave Ice. All the cool people had shave ice while I scarfed down a bowl of ice cream. Now guess which flavor it was. Oh, then we sat through traffic for an hour on the way back to the resort. We got back around 4:15. Dad and I changed into our swimsuits and headed down to the water park. We went around to the lazy river a few times before going to the adult pool. You know, like we do. Dad decided it was too cold, so he got out early. We went back up at around 6. At 6:30, we went to dinner at Eggs and Fangs. I had scrambled eggs and fluffy buttermilk pancakes. We were back around 7:45. I vibed in Mom and Dad's room for an hour and then watched videos, you know, until I fell asleep. Someone just started up their car engine. It's like making my chair rumble. Is there something wrong with your engine, sir? Ma'am? Guys, gals, non-binary pals? We can ignore him / her / it. So yeah, I fell asleep and I went to bed at 9:50. Deep breath. I've been doing a lot of talking in case you can't tell. Okay. January 8th, swap meet. I woke up around 6:50 and went out onto the balcony. I had to go in quickly because we had to have breakfast and be dressed and ready to leave the room by 8. I specifically remembered the time on my phone being 8:08 when I put it down because I was looking through Failboat's playthrough of Miitopia for the next round of quests. Anyway, we waited in the lobby because Dad realized he had forgotten the car keys. Once he got them, we drove to the swap meet at Alola Stadium. Just kidding, it's called Aloha Stadium. Haha, hashtag funny Pokemon reference, ha ha ha. We worked our way around the stadium looking at stuff and buying stuff. I bought a blue and green dress and a couple pairs of earrings, and I also found this magic cube that you can fold, and I couldn't stop, and I might have broken every one I touched, but it's okay. I didn't buy it. We were about halfway around when we decided to make like the cha-cha slide and reverse. I bought a Hawaii baseball tee at the last minute. We made it back to the car just as it really started raining and drove off at around 11:30. We returned to the room to munch on some lunch and just hang around. At around 2:30, the Rent and I went down to the water park. Dad and I went in the lazy river in the adult pool while Mom lounged around in a chair. We went up at 4:30 and I showered and got ready for our dinner reservation. Our reservation was at 6:30 for the Limon Rotisserie. Another pro gamer tip that day was my mom's birthday. Okay. I had a quarter chicken white meat edition with rice and fries. Then came dessert. I was gonna get a chocolate cake, but they were fresh out of cake. So I got the bread pudding, which was made out of a cinnamon roll, and it was best. We rolled back to the resort and made it back at around 9. Once there, I watched videos until I fell asleep, and I went to bed a little after 10. There's so much falling asleep. I must have been pooped. Poop. Still being immature, Daphne. I can't help it. Okay, moving on. January 9th, chill day. I woke up around 6:45 and went out onto the balcony for quite some time. When I went back inside, everyone was still asleep. They were awake within a few minutes, though. I had some eggs for breakfast to put on my swimsuit. We went down to the water park around 9:30. I went in the adult pool with the papa, then went in the lazy river with them myself. I keep wanting to say lazy liver. What's that supposed to mean? Why are we talking about livers? Anyway, we went up around 11:30. I rinsed my hair out and munched on some lunch. Then I just sort of hung out in the room watching videos and enjoying the view from the balcony. And then we went down as a fam around 2:30 for Dole Whips. I had the vanilla Dole Whip because I'm a rebel and a picky eater. Once we were done, I went back up and changed into my other swimsuit for another dip in the pool. Dad and I hung out in the water for an hour before leaving at 4:30. I washed my hair and got back into my street clothes. We left at 5:30 for an early dinner at Ko'olina Barbecue. I had some chicken katsu and a scoop of rice. We got back just in time for the 7 p.m. showing of Tangled on the lawn, only to find that it was canceled due to high winds. Instead, we rented a couple of DVDs. Tonight we watched Lion King 1.5, except something was wrong with the TV. Now we can check watching Lion King 1.5 for the green screen filter off. No, it's not a green screen filter. What am I talking about? Now I can check watching Lion King 1.5 with a green filter off my bucket list, even though it wasn't there to begin with. Mom served us some ice cream, and then I conked out watching videos. I went to bed at 10:20. Deep breath. Oh, I made this little baggie was sitting right here, and I made it blow. I'm an airbender. January 10th, chill day. I woke up in the morning and went out onto the balcony to write in my travel journal. When I finished with that, I went back out to play with Miitopia and P since I just couldn't fight it anymore. I actually thought I could go 2 weeks without playing Miitopia, but no. It's actually the episode I filmed that is actually up right now. It's Miitopia episode 64 titled One Banana Allotment. And you can actually hear nature as I play. Actually, I'm not sure how true that is. You just have to watch and find out for yourself. Basically. So yeah, I just couldn't fight it anymore. When I went inside, I ate my breakfast and edited my new Miitopia episode. I basically spent the whole morning in the room farting around on my phone, catching up with Failboat and all that jazz. Dad and I played a round of bananagrams. Alex and Madeline also joined in as well. At 11 o'clock, Mom, Dad, and I left to meet their friend Tanya for lunch at Chiro's Simon Haven. I had some crunchy mochiko chicken and good old-fashioned Asian restaurant crinkle fries. We were back at around 1:30. We changed into our swimsuits for one last swim. I went into the adult pool in the lazy river. And then I got a big cup of soft serve and ate the whole thing in a lounge chair. We went up around 4:30. I showered and started watching Doctor Strange with a green filter. At around 6:30, we decided to pause the movie and get some dinner at The Eggs and the Things. I very conveniently ate eggs and things, if those things were buttermilk pancakes. When we got back, we finished the movie. Once that was done, I retired to my bed and watched videos until I fell asleep and was never heard from again. January 11/12th. Going home. I woke up at around 5:40 thinking, where am I? What happened last night? Where's my retainer? And my sleep mask? How long was I out? Nevertheless, I stayed in bed until 6:50 when I went out onto the balcony one last time. I went in after an hour for breakfast and packed up whatever I had taken out of my suitcase. I basically lived out of it the whole week. I watched videos on my phone since that was the only thing I didn't pack until it was time to peace out of the hotel at 11 o'clock. First, we went to lunch at Kalapawai Cafe. These Hawaiian words don't make me feel good. Because, well, the pronunciation, of course. Where I had only my second pizza all week. Next, we went to the movies. Mom and I watched Jumanji, the DLC. That's not the real title, but I thought it would be more fitting than The Next Level. Once we were done with that, we waited outside for 20 minutes, waiting for Dad, Alex, and Madeline to finish with Star Trek, The Rise of Disney's Revenues. Then we had an early dinner at Limon Rotisserie. I once again had a quarter chicken, white meat edition, with rice and fries done right. We decided to browse the shops in the outlet mall, more particularly the Spencers. I got my fill of shirts from My Hero Academia to Doki Doki Literature Club to Dwy You Ignorant Slut, but I didn't buy anything. We decided we were done browsing and went to the airport early, which worked out because we got held up in security because I didn't take my DS out of my backpack like I did need to in Houston. We hung out until the gate opened. I was listening to the Miitopia soundtrack while we were walking through the gate, and I was so in the zone that I walked in the wrong gate, and Mom was like, Daphne, where are you going? Long story short, the stage music for Erie Road almost made me board the wrong plane. We boarded the plane at 7:40. Once we took off, I catapulted my watch forward 4 hours and went to sleep, or the closest thing to it on an airplane. I woke up 5 hours later and did stuff. We landed at 7:40 a.m. Texas time. We got our luggage in our car and went on our way. I fell asleep in the car, but was woken up when we dropped Mom off at the Kroger. The rest of us went off to get some Weta breakfast, and we picked Mom up with the groceries and arrived back home at 10. And that has been a 20-minute video, or I don't know, I probably would have edited out all my various blunders while reading this thing. Well, I hope you enjoyed. listening to me blather about my journeys. Thank you for watching. Did I already say that? Huh, okay, just be sure to like and subscribe, and I will be coming back at you next week for more zesty content.